So our innovation um, depends exclusively on our user needs. Like as we see that user needs something that we don't have, that's when we decide to extend our product offering.
Hi, I'm Dana Yao, your host on the Emerging Markets Tech Startups podcast. While traveling to over 90 countries, I was inspired by the entrepreneurial spirit across startup communities in Africa, Latin America, Asia, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. On the show, we bring you stories from entrepreneurs, startup ecosystem innovators, and investors. We discuss what makes these markets culturally and historically unique, local trends, local challenges consumers and founders face, and the opportunities. Let's get started. All right, everyone. We have a special treat. I know I say that every time, but literally, we have David Vanegas with us today, who's the lead product manager at Rappi. And if you guys have heard my past episodes, I talk about Rappi all the time because it's one of the biggest startup tech companies in Latin America from Colombia with around 13 million users. That's crazy. So I'll hand it off to David to introduce himself, or David.
So hello, my name is David Vanegas. I'm a product lead for Rappi right now for restaurants. I am managing the app for partners and started from operations and growth, and then a little bit from operations and growth, and then migrated into restaurants where we saw a lot of necessities and needs for partners and restaurant partners. And right now I'm in product for restaurants, basically.
Amazing. And for people who don't know about Rappi, what is the product? How did it start?
Yeah, so Rappi is an on-demand delivery startup in Latin America. We are a marketplace that connects users who needs to purchase prepared foods, groceries, clothing, electronics, services, pharmacies, with virtually or anything that users need with independent contractors, basically.
And give us a real example. When was the last time you used Rappi in your own life?
So today, I ordered my breakfast, then my lunch, and just ordered my dessert. So yeah, 3 times in one day, basically.
Wow. I don't know if that reflects laziness or that you're in love with the product and you're doing product testing.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Awesome. And when did the company start and what problems did it set out to solve when it started?
So Rappi has 5 years now. It started on 2015. There was a big need in the market for delivery. There was basically no delivery, and the restaurants or the deliveries that offered a delivery, it was by the phone, over the phone. And the major issue there, it was that the user didn't have any clue of where the delivery guy was. So it was okay, like expect the order to get there, and that's it. Rappi entered to fulfill that need of things getting delivered quickly.
So it started off with the restaurant vertical. I had heard it started out with alcohol. What?
Yeah, so basically we started out as a corner shop, or as a little business that had like potato fries and chocolates and this stuff. And we also added a button which was which gave the user the capability to order anything they needed. So here we started to see what were the users' main focus. So many users started to order from restaurants, and this way we started to prioritize, like, okay, we need to open restaurants. Okay, we need to open this. For example, in this button, which we call antojos, which is desires, users started to order cash. So they needed to cash to get delivered to their homes. And when this happened, it was a great idea for us, because we said, okay, let's do this and let's make a button where the user is going to be able to order cash very easily. So from the moment we received that request of cash delivery, we took 48 hours to make a button in production for the users to order cash. And in that time, it was like 5% of the total orders that Rappi made.
Wow. And I use this exact example, and I'm so glad you brought it up because I thought I was lying the whole time and I had heard it from some article that wasn't true, but that's extremely fascinating. And I always say this is the type of way you should build product where you're taking these ideas from how the users are using your product and how they craft their product. So I always point to Rappi as the perfect example as user-led product. What was the craziest thing that someone ordered that you didn't expect in that desire field?
And once there was this order that they ordered a delivery, a courier, because they were incomplete in a soccer game. So they ordered a courier to replace to replace a person that was missing.
See, people's creativity, humans' creativity is limitless. And when companies talk about, oh, how do we become innovative? Just listen to your users.
That's right. And basically Rappi has been like very good in that terms, like listening to our users. Like for us, it's in order for us to expand our product offering, we first listen to the users and we make a decision. Okay, it's time to open Rappi Mall, or it's time to open pets, or it's time to open, I don't know, whatever other
whatever you could think of.
Yeah, whatever the user needs, basically.
Open a soccer team.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, are those actual things? Rappi Pets and Rappi Mall?
Yeah. So basically, today we have a section where basically we're giving all the needs for their pets, and also we have Rappi Mall, which is basically e-commerce, and it's giving the user like the capability of ordering clothing, technology, toys, and whatever you can imagine of.
Wow, you guys are becoming the everything store, like the Amazons, right? Except you guys don't hold inventory.
Today, no. Yeah, today we don't hold any inventory.
Is that a future vision?
We are thinking of it. Yeah, we're thinking of it, because we want to deliver like in 10 minutes or 15 minutes some sort of products, and in order to do this, we would like to depend on ourselves, and yeah, we're thinking of maybe acquiring some inventory to make it very fast.
That is so exciting. And hey, you guys heard it here first. When this comes out into real life, David said it first here. That's awesome. And all of this is inspired by the people. So let's talk about the market. I mean, it started out in Colombia, but now how many countries are you guys in?
We are in 9 countries today.
Wow. And 9 countries, 13 million people. That's crazy. And what are some of the cultural norms that you're seeing in these markets? Maybe even some that surprised you. I know you grew up in Colombia, in Shakira's hometown, Barranquilla, but what were some things that you discovered that surprised you?
So at the beginning, when we started to open our grocery vertical, it was very difficult, or it was at the beginning was very the transition for users to order groceries in the app was a little bit more difficult than restaurants, for example, because users like to going to the groceries and test the fruit, test the avocado, touch the avocado, see what's the end date of some products, and we had to let the users know that we were going to select the products with the same love if they were in the grocery store, and this was like a very difficult tendency or a very difficult cultural norm that we had to break, and we hired shoppers which are experienced in picking like fruits and vegetables. And
are these like professional avocado pickers who pick the perfect what is not smoothness, perfect tenderness? You know how sometimes you get like a really hard avocado, and in Rappi, can you request, oh, I want avocado that is 2 days from being ripe?
yeah, that's right. So basically, also we enabled a feature where we let the user select what is the what is the state of the avocado they want to receive. So if they are going to eat the avocado today or tomorrow or in 2 days. Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, that level of customization. No wonder people are obsessed, right? In the sense that they can get the perfect experience, probably even better than if they can do it themselves.
Yeah, that's right. That was like the most difficult part, but yeah, we made it. We made it so.
When you guys, 5 years ago, did you partner with any ecosystem players to get to your guys' success, or this was a solo journey?
So basically, the Rappi comes from like two beforehand businesses. It started from Imaginamos, which was founded by Simon, our CEO. Imaginamos was a business where it was a very cheap way of acquiring platforms and web pages and apps. From this, the Grability was born, which was a software that they developed, which was the way of picking stores picking products into the shopping cart and dragging them into the cart. And this was B2B. The only problem here is that users love the product, but the other businesses were too slow on execution. So Simon's idea was to, okay, let's do it B2C. And when this was the way that Rappi was born, basically.
Since you guys started, have you found a bunch of local competitors popping up? I remember when I used to explain Robby to people, I was like, oh, it's the Postmates. And obviously Postmates isn't down in Latin America, I'm assuming, but are you seeing other startups copying the model, competing with you guys directly?
Yeah, so basically in Latin America, our top competitors are iFood and Uber Eats, but we always saw them as an opportunity to be better, to avoid us falling into the comfort zone, and because these type of things they make you run as fast as and execute as fast as you can, because I don't know if you saw The Last Dance from Michael Jordan, the Netflix series. There's
No, I haven't.
there's this they had this training where the first one that was like they did a race, and the first person in the line was the one who led the rest, and the last one had always to go as fast to the first one. And so basically it was something like that, because for us, in order to be the first, you need to lead the pace, and the only way to lead the pace is to run as fast as you can, so and execute as fast as you can. So basically, yeah.
That you guys have done, my God,
Yeah.
in just 5 years. I thought it was an older company given how successful it's grown. So super, super impressive. And I also didn't know iFood was the biggest competitor. I actually used to work for a company called Hello Food based in Brazil. And I got acquired by iFood. Super exciting. Let's talk about how you guys got to the 13 million users you got to today. But let's talk about the first 10 users. How did you guys acquire those first 10 users?
Okay, this is a very funny story. We were like thinking, okay, what shall we do? So we decided to buy some donuts and say, okay, let's give some donuts for downloads, because okay, who
donuts for
who doesn't want a
downloads?
donut? Yeah, that's right. So we went to a park in Bogota that is called Virrey, and we started giving donuts for download. So we said, hey, do you want this donut? Yeah, okay, download this app. and we saw the person download the app, and we gave them the donuts. And and this was this campaign was very cool, and it worked a lot.
Do you remember how many downloads you guys got? How many donuts did you give out?
I think it was like 250 downloads on that day.
I didn't even know Colombians like donuts. I thought that was an American thing.
No, yeah. Like, that Colombia is a very Americanized country. So yeah, we love donuts. And another one was that this campaign was bigger. We went to a couple of malls in Bogota, where people were like shopping, and we told them, hey, you don't need to be here. Like, you can be shopping from your house. Don't worry. Like, look, you can shop here. This shirt, you can buy it via Rappi. And people like, really? Yeah. And the only bad part was that they ended up kicking us out from the mall, but it was a nice experience.
Who came up with these ideas?
It was Simon's idea, yeah.
He's crazy. Yeah. Podcasts like Masters of Scale and How I Built This, they always talk about the origin stories. And a lot of these initial stories of growth are similar, doing unscalable things. So this just adds to that list. And it's just such a hilarious story that you guys can tell forever. So that was the first, 500 users, now to 13 million. What were your guys' key strategies that took you just skyrocketed that J curve?
Yeah, so we had a lot of influencers, good influencers. We also did a lot of referrals in the app. In fact,
did you pay people?
Yeah. So in fact, we also had a very good one in Barranquilla. The city manager, he said, okay, it's getting very hard to get in touch with huge influencers of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million followers. Let's get into micro influencers. Like, influencers are that maybe 3,000, 4,000 followers, that if we put them together, it can give us a lot of reach. So Barranquilla, that is a very small city, it's very easy to viralize like a campaign. So we use 10 or 15 micro influencers, and this campaign helped us also a lot to getting reached, and to also the campaign feel a little bit more truthful,
authentic.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that was a very good campaign that we did also.
Wow. And this is related to our last episode. We were speaking to the CEO of PiggyVest, and I asked her the same question. She was like, referrals. But you know what? I just realized referrals only work if you have a good product. So I always say the best growth strategy is leading with a good product. And that's how we think about it as well. You shouldn't be paying money to grow unless you have product market fit. So that's amazing. Would you say those were your guys' two key strategies, or did you end up paying, ads? Did you do big marketing campaigns on TV, on billboards?
Like the marketing campaigns on TV and billboards, we're not the principal ones. We did it, but we're not like the main ones. Our main ones were always referrals and influencers, and of course ads. But 2 top ones, I would say, was influencers and referrals.
Another one you're forgetting. When I was in Colombia, I saw the Rappi couriers with their motorcycle hats and their backpack thing everywhere. So this physical on the ground branding is also so key, because people get familiar with the brand, people get curious, they trust it. So that's another huge fleet. You have to think these couriers are serving as your marketing agents.
Yeah, and it's incredible. Like, I still feel proud when I go to another city, different to Bogota, and as soon as I leave the airport, I see couriers from Rappi everywhere. So I love that feeling, basically.
Must be an amazing feeling. Let's talk about the product. And we already started saying how it's very user-led, but how do you guys think about innovation?
So our innovation depends exclusively on our user needs. Like, as As we see that user needs something that we don't have, that's when we decide to extend our product offering.
How do you learn about the user needs?
With the desire button, we're basically when we see something that we don't have, we go for it. Like, okay, let's do it. And this way, it's like the mentality where we want to go, because our key metric today is frequency. If a user uses Rappi more, that means that we are giving him or her a product that they need. Basically, we want to build a super app that to offer people all the solution for all their needs, basically.
And let's talk about that super app strategy. I mean, kind of sort of came from the West, and now everywhere in emerging markets, super app first. So what are some product lines, part of the super app, that you've extended yourself?
So basically, for us, a super app is like today, it's people have less time for themselves. So for us, the super app is for those users that don't have a lot of time and need help with a lot of things. And we are not only looking to provide groceries, restaurants, and pharmacies. Learning from our users. This way we can learn what else can we provide to save them more time. So yeah, extended also for babies, pets, bank accounts, credit cards, everything the user needs in an app, basically.
What's the weirdest product line in the app?
I would say massages. Like today, you can ask for a massage in your home, like in the app.
Nice.
Like at the beginning, like 4 years from now, when we were focusing like restaurants and groceries, if you told me like, hey, David from the future, come and order a massage from Rappi, I was like, no, I don't think that's true.
And how did that come about? Like people were filling that into the desire field, and
Yeah.
how many times do people have to request stuff for you guys to turn it into a permanent offering?
So basically, it's something that we discuss once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Like we make like a list of all the things people are ordering from desires, and like what are the top 3 things that we don't have that people are ordering there, and then we decide like what's the most a convenient way to do it, and if it's technically available or not. And yeah, and basically that's the way we decide.
Got it. So does it feel more like an intuition thing versus a heavy data driven process?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Interesting. Because you think tech companies, they're always like, oh, we're data driven and that's how we got so successful. But hearing what you're saying is like, we're intuition driven. We are users of this product. So we have a good idea of what people want, and it's still successful. So it kind of tells the listeners there isn't one right way. There are some best practices, but there are companies like Rappi that have gotten really successful doing things another way.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both intuition and data. But yeah, I think one of the main things at Rappi that we also work on intuition, and because we really know our users, and we don't have to wait for the data to appear.
And what does knowing the users mean? Do you guys do a lot of heavy research? Are you on the ground being a courier, delivering?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you like a very nice example. That is one of the things why I admire Simone the most. We each week we send a very massive email to a lot of users, power users, with our personal number, and we tell the users, hey, my name is David. I'm here to help you. Anything you need, you can talk to me. Anything if you have a problem with Rappi, you can talk to me. This is my WhatsApp number. You can call me. And this is a way to knowing the users. And I have users like writing me like a Sunday at 8 p.m. and I'm like yeah, willing and able like to help them. And this is the way like not to lose focus on that side. And we also do it with our couriers, and we also do it with our partners in the on the merchant side.
Oh my,
So yeah.
do you guys have any work-life balance?
Yeah. But it's something like when you love what you do,
Yep.
I think it's not a problem there.
And especially when it's succeeding, right? There's one
Yeah,
thing loving what you do and just not getting it right, but how fast it's like a rocket ship.
yeah. And I think that many corporations, like many businesses, underestimate the value of an opinion of a single user. Because many times users uh, feel a way that they need to express themselves, and having someone that can help you and gives not only a safe way to use Rappi, but makes Rappi very reliable to our users.
And they're basically whispers in your ear about new, innovative, cool products you guys could build. And then you share with your team and they give you all the credit.
Yeah.
So there's so much good to that. And in our last episode with the CEO of PiggyVest, literally their product was built from a single user's tweet. So, and they've gone to 2 million users today in Nigeria. So, like David said, don't discount the voice of one user. It could be very, very powerful. You talked about Rappi also going into the banking sector. Can you give us a bit about that?
Yeah. So basically, we saw also a good opportunity to solve many bank issues that users have, and we are also getting to the bank business. And today we have a vertical called Rappi Pay, where basically it's a payment method that you can transfer another user money that they can use on Rappi, and they can cash out or whatever. So yeah, we are also going into the finance world, into the fintech um, vertical, if you can say it like that.
Yeah. And we're seeing that of so many large successful tech companies in emerging markets, and but not necessarily in the US and the West. So that's really interesting. I mean, and a lot of these start with like ride hailing. In Indonesia, the Gojeks quickly flock to becoming a wallet. Grab, the same thing. So it's an interesting trend. Were there any strategic bets that actually failed? We always talk about successes, but I'm sure behind a million successes is 5 million failures. So any that come to mind, any stories?
We launched a vertical from restaurants that was offering very cheap lunch to users. And we saw that at the end it wasn't giving the value that we thought of it in the first place. So that's an example that may be taking into consideration.
Who says no to cheap lunch? Why did that fail? Another thing I wanted to call out why Robby has been so impactful in the ecosystem. I know with the cash, I think when I read that article, they were saying cash was especially an important service to get from Rappi because back then it just wasn't as safe to go to an ATM. So people would avoid it entirely or have to borrow money from people. So the delivery part from Rappi isn't just convenience, but has helped safety, right, in the major cities.
Yeah, and I think like the constant innovation of the product is the reason why we keep on having the same impact as we had 4 years or 3 years or 5 years from now.
And fulfilling people's best desires of pets and malls. Soccer players serving as a third soccer player. That's amazing. Well, we talked a lot about the the company's successes, were there any milestones you were particularly proud of?
Yeah. So when I was in when I was in restaurants, in the commercial side, I saw a lot of needs that the merchants had, and one of the major needs was um, a need for self-service of discounts and growth. So basically, in that time, partners had to ask us or the commercial managers of the restaurants to activate a promotion, to activate free delivery or 10% off in a product. And I saw this and I said, like, we need to solve this and we need to give them the tools to self-serve this. So when I passed into the restaurant product team, we developed an app called Rappi Growth, which today it's called Partners app, to give the partners basically all of these tools for them to self-serve their discounts. And today, partners are investing $20 million in discounts that at the end represent 60-70 million dollars of GMV each month in the restaurant vertical.
And it all came from you raising your hand saying, we need to solve this. I love it. Yeah. And sometimes that is all it takes at the end of the day. Someone who's willing to champion solving a problem and galvanizing a bunch of the people around it. But I think part of it's also the company culture, that when you identified it, they didn't say, oh, this is not important, but they let you run with it. So what is working at Rappi like?
I love it. Basically, I wake up every day like with a bunch of ideas, and I think it's a unique feeling waking up with an idea that you know that you can take it into real life, and dreaming or thinking or imagining. I don't know. I thought of, for example, giving partners the capability of doing cashback, and the feeling that it gives me of knowing that I can get this idea into production. It's awesome. It's incredible. I like it's invaluable basically. So yeah, I think like one of the things that like people like of working in Rappi is that the ideas they have, when they are good, they can go into real life, like different from other parts that it's not as true as Rappi basically.
That's so empowering. And that's why us young people like to join these startups, tech companies, because we want to feel like our millennial best ideas ever, we can actually have a hand in incorporating them, seeing the impact through. So no wonder Rappi attracts such talent, right? Because they all feel empowered. So what does 5 years from now Rappi look like? I'm assuming you're going to stick around.
Yeah, so basically 5 years from now, we imagine being a super app, as we mentioned before, where we are focused 100% on highly frequency users, and giving them like basically more time for themselves thanks to Rappi, and avoiding them all the lines in the bank, avoiding them lines in any other place, and giving them all what they need in an app basically. And yeah, and as we keep on learning what else we can provide users, that's the way to go into in 5 years from now, being that super app that users feel they can have whatever they need in only one app.
Are you guys coming north? I mean, we in the US could use that delivering anything.
Not for now, but if we will, I can give you a message there.
I'll be the first one to know. Yeah, okay. Give me your WhatsApp so I can create some demands.
Sure.
on the show, you were telling me how you ended up at Rappi. So do you want to quickly, last thing, cover that?
Yeah, so basically I was in Barranquilla, and I was bored from like all the corporation and that like market, and I decided to quit basically and come to Bogota to work for Rappi, because I fell in love with Rappi the first time I received a message as a user. And
What was that like? Love at first sight. Wow.
So, yes, I was a user, and I ordered. I don't remember. I ordered something, and like I didn't order like for 7 days or 10 days, something like that. And I received like a card basically at my home with a brownie that telling me, "Hey David, we miss you. Come back." Yeah, that's right.
You guys must all have diabetes because you're obsessed with sweets. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
What? Right. Yeah, I would fall in love with the company too. They sent me a brownie. I hear you.
Yeah, and I fell in love with Rappi, and I said like I need to work there. And so I started seeing and I started investigating. And when I quit my job in Barranquilla, and I came here to Bogota. And I started sending my curriculum to Rappi, talking to Simon, which is our CEO. How did you
find him?
And in LinkedIn, basically, yeah. And I left my curriculum at the reception of the business, and I arrived on Monday. I talked to Simon like on Wednesday, and I was already working on Thursday.
Oh my god!
So yeah. So and the fun part there was that I was in the airplane, like with all basically all packed up in my bag. And before the airplane started, I was like, "What am I doing? Like, are you crazy?" And yeah, but yeah, it's all worth it, basically.
David, it's been so good to have you on the show. Is there anything else you want to share?
Not quite. Like my main advice to everybody is to always execute without fear, execute without the fear of getting judged, because today it's very easy to make a mistake and a user's bad experience going viral and due to all the social media. And I think this is one of the reasons why many companies don't innovate, with the fear of getting judged. But for me and in Rappi, I've always learned to execute without fear, to do it. And the worst thing that can happen is to fail and to get it right up and to do a better product from version 1. So yeah, that's the
David, thank you so much for sharing your time with us, sharing the origin stories of Rappi. And we're all so excited to see the next 5 years and what crazy things you guys end up offering.
Yeah, Dana, thank you for the opportunity. And I'm very happy to share all my experiences and this wonderful company where I work with.
Thanks for joining us today on the Emerging Markets Tech Startup Show. If you have questions, comments, requests for me to cover an emerging market, or want to be connected with today's guest, leave me a comment in the reviews or find me on Twitter @Diana Yao. Until next time,